Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. First full day back after vacation of getting back into the swing of things. I'm currently walking Piper and Kylie is here with me as well, back to our daily walks. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Oh, Piper just whipped me in a circle. It's currently 8:30 in the morning. Piper has a vet appointment at 10:30, so I'm trying to get her walk done this morning so that she hopefully will not be crazy in the vet. But I have to pick up Max's remains and everything this morning as well, and Piper needs shots, so hopefully I don't lose my emotional bearings this morning. But anyway, I just wanted to start this video on our walk, letting you know that I'm getting back into the swing of things. We're going to sit down and talk a little bit about last week and how it all went and my trip, and I did weigh myself, so I'll have an update on that if I gained any weight on vacation. But yeah, we're going to finish our walk. It is hot already, very hot. And then we will sit down and chat. So I'll see you in a minute. This is future, already have filmed the rest of the video, Brittany, but I do need to pop on here and say very briefly that there are only 3 more days left to get the Orderly Meds starter pack. So I did want to mention that in today's video. You guys know what the gist of it is. $499 for 3 months, a month each of 2.5, 5, 7.5, no additional fees. Select new to the meds to see the deal, but it ends on the 19th. It will not go on after that. That is due to the bud dates. So if you want to order that, if you've been on the fence about it, I would highly recommend just going ahead and getting that done. I have a link in my bio. Now let's get on to regular scheduled programming. Okay guys, I am back from my walk, and let me tell you, it is already like 95 degrees outside. It is ridiculous. We walked 2 full circles around the neighborhood, and that was all that Piper could take. So we're gonna have to do it again this evening or something because it was awful. Okay. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the recap from last week. Now, if you are new here, my name is Brittany. I usually say this a little bit earlier on, but I have been on Mounjaro and compounded tirzepatide for over 2.5 years now at this point. I've lost over 100 pounds, and I share all about that here on my channel. This video every single Monday is a sort of weekly recap, update, a weigh-in, news stories that have gone on, that sort of thing. So this week, I'm actually going to be talking mostly about myself and how my last week went. There was a pretty big news story break earlier in the week that I'm actually going to cover tomorrow in a separate video. So stay on the lookout for that. Really, it's just sort of a new update on some new GLP-1s that are coming through the funnel and all of that, but it's a lot of information. So I figured I would put it in one video. So today we're talking about me, about moi. Okay. My update last week was not the best one, right? So I told you guys that I had just lost my beloved Max. Oh, I have something I wanted to show you guys. Let me grab it. My beloved Max, who has been my dog for the past 7 years. We rescued him from a shelter and we lost him last week. So last week the week before was really rough for me, and I was totally forthcoming with you guys. When I got back from the cruise that we went on last week, I actually had a package in the mail. It was from my sister, and she ordered me this necklace off of Etsy that is actually got Max's face engraved on it, and you can't really tell, but it is his face, it's him. There you go. And this is just so special to me and so wonderful, and I am so thankful. I also had a couple other, Melissa who I tell you guys about all the time, Chase Sunshine, sent me a really pretty garden stone with for the front yard, and then also a little picture frame to put a picture of Max in. So I felt very loved. Thank you guys for all of your sweet comments on that video, but I did want to give that little update. I am doing much better as far as Max goes. Moving on from that, last week I weighed in, and I told you guys that I weighed 150 pounds and some change, like 150.4 or something like that. Now, I wasn't gonna weigh, but I did. And that's just me. I always say I'm not gonna weigh after a vacation, and literally the first thing I do when I come in the door is pee and then get on the scale. It's just I can't take not knowing or whatever. So I stepped on the scale Saturday when we got home, and I weighed 154.6 pounds. So I gained 4 pounds on the cruise. I'm actually surprised that it wasn't more than it was, and we will get into that more. But now it is Monday morning as I'm filming this, and I am down to 152 even this morning. So I've lost 2.6 of those pounds. I don't worry about that really at all. And we're going to talk about that as well. Chris did not weigh himself because he said that he didn't want to know. And you know, everybody's different. Some people want to know, some people don't. He didn't weigh himself. Now, before we left last week, I took my normal weekly shot, which I had told you guys that I had gone back to weekly injections. Now I take my injection every single Thursday. That day I took my injection, we left on Sunday. And so I missed an injection this Thursday. And then I did end up taking it on Saturday when we got home, just because I didn't want to miss a whole week or whatever. So I took my injection. It was just a couple of days late, and I actually took a little bit more this time. You guys know I've been taking about 20 units. The only reason I took more was because there was just a tiny little bit left in the bottom of that vial. And that vial had actually a bud date of May, and we're mid-June now. And so I didn't want to save it any longer, and I didn't want to waste it because it's literally liquid gold. So I took, I think it was about 30 this week, because I just could not throw that little bit away, right? Like if you know, you know, I'm not wasting any of it. So I took it, but I'm not really feeling any different so far. I do have the suppression, the normal sort of effects, but I don't have anything crazy from going up a little bit in dosage. Now let's talk about last week specifically, because I think this could be quite interesting for people that are going on a vacation soon. It is vacation season, and with GLP-1s being a part of our life, it's a part that we have to figure out how GLP-1s fit into. We're learning a whole new life, right? Like we never knew going on vacation and eating what we wanted to eat within reason and being able to stop and all of that. We've never known that in our whole life. So we're all learning as we go. Every single time we do something new while being on a GLP-1. And this is the first time in my life that I've ever been on a cruise, and the first time since starting my GLP-1 journey that I had unlimited access to food anytime that I wanted it. If you've been on a cruise, you know the buffet is open all the time. The burger joint, the Mexican joint, it's open all the time. You can get the pizza, the sandwich shop. You literally can go at 2 a.m. and get food and get as much food as you want. So this was the first time that I've been faced with that. And I was a little bit worried about it, not gonna lie. I went into it really worried that I was going to just go absolutely insane, crazy, and gain a ton of weight. Sometimes even 2.5 years later, it's hard to trust myself in my new life and in the tool that GLP-1s are. Every once in a while, I'll have these few moments where I'm like, is this real? Can I really do this? Is this really how I eat now? Is this really life? And I'll have these moments where I like revert back for just a second. And then I always come back, right? Like I always come back and realize, oh, okay, yeah, we're good. We got this. So I got on the ship really worried that I was going to go absolutely insane, crazy, balls to the wall, eating all of the food, okay? That's kind of what happened. I will say that I fell in the middle of the two. And this is why I said that I was surprised that I didn't gain more than 4 pounds. Because I definitely ate. For one thing, I ate 3 solid meals every single day. And that is, if you know, you know, not something that I do, okay? I don't eat breakfast 99% of the time. I just don't. On the cruise ship, I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner and a snack every single day. And we're talking like a bagel with a big thing of yogurt. Every day they would have this like yogurt buffet, which was my absolute favorite. You guys know I'm a yogurt bowl girl. If you watch my What I Eat in a Days. And so every single day I would go and get this huge bowl of raspberry yogurt and put a little bit granola on top of it because it's my favorite thing ever. And then I would get a bagel. That's what I had every single morning for breakfast. Now, most of the time I would eat like half the bagel and all of the yogurt, but I still ate breakfast every morning. A couple hours later, we would go back and have lunch, and I would get something off the buffet, or I would get pizza. Now, I did always try to have a salad for lunch, so they had a salad bar as well. So I would have like a couple slices, and I say a couple slices, but it's like a really, like the whole pizza made 4 slices. So they're not huge. It's like a personal sized pizza. So I would get 2 slices of pizza and a Caesar salad, or 2 pieces of pizza and a salad for lunch. And then dinner, I always ate off of the buffet. And we're talking mashed potatoes and brisket. Oh my gosh, the brisket was so good. And broccoli and green beans and a whole buffet of unlimited food, and then a whole dessert buffet of unlimited food that you could eat. And so I ate a lot. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. For me, now, I really should have, if I had been thinking about this more, I would have filmed what I eat in a day on a cruise. But I didn't. I didn't even think about that until just now. But that would have been interesting because I think that for me, that was a lot of food, but I think some other people might look at it and be like, that was nothing. But it was enough for me to gain 4 pounds, right? Now, I do 100% realize that most of that's probably water weight, inflammation. One thing that GLP-1s really do for you, and this is a benefit that I've really been speaking on lately because it's one that I really recognize, is inflammation. So if you are somebody that has really bad, like they say that people with rheumatoid arthritis end up feeling better, but if you have PCOS and you've got a lot of like puffiness and inflammation, GLP-1s help to flush that out. Towards the end of the week, so I would say like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we're talking when my shot was due. So I was expired for a shot. I noticed a lot of puffiness. So in my feet, especially like when I walked, I could feel the extra like water inflammation, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like wiggled when I walked. My rings were tighter. My face looked puffy. I still think my face looks a little puffy, but not as much as it did previously. And so when I took my GLP-1 when I took my injection on Saturday, when I got home, sorry if this is TMI, I peed all day on Sunday. It's like it just flushed it all out of me. And I thought that was so cool because it's not been something that I've noticed instantly like that throughout the rest of my journey. Like I've never paid attention that much to how the inflammation just flushes out of your body. I saw a TikTok recently of a woman who was not significantly overweight to begin with, but her main sort of plot on her TikTok was how she was going to the gym all the time. She had PCOS. She was going to the gym all the time and she just wasn't seeing the results. She was puffy. She was eating in a calorie deficit, whatever. She added a GLP-1 into her thing and like 6 months later is like shredded. Like it just gave her the ability to get rid of all of that puffiness and get rid of all that inflammation and allow the work in the gym. Her muscles were probably holding on to a lot of weight because when you lift a lot of weights and you do a lot of stuff like that, your muscles will retain water. So maybe that had something to do with it. But anyway, that TikToker, I can't even remember her name, sort of helped me to circle back to myself and realize that's why I always say find people that are like-minded or find people that are encouraging to you on your journey because you can almost always relate it back to yourself in some way. And she did that for me. So I thought that was really cool. Like I'm like a GLP-1 nerd now. If you saw, we gotta touch on this. If you saw my post in my Facebook group, which if you aren't a member of that, it's linked down below. It's free, just a free encouragement Facebook group. I posted in there a video from the first night that we were there. We went to a comedy show and the comedian asked for like 3 or 4 dads to come up there, and Chris went up there and they asked him this series of like all these questions, and essentially the comedian would feed off of whatever they said, and it was funny most of the time. Like the dads were funny, the comedian was funny, whatever. But one of the questions was, what does your wife do? And all of these other wives, like 2 of them are teachers, one of them was in the Navy, and Chris is like, I told him just to be like, it's too complicated, just say I'm a stay-at-home mom, whatever. And he said, she said to tell you that she's a stay-at-home mom, but she does other stuff. Like she does stuff. And the comedian's like, oh, like a drug dealer. And she's like, he said, oh yeah, kinda. I'm like, no, you just told hundreds of people that. And I was like, he's laughing. He thinks it's hilarious. And so I had to go up to this comedian after the fact and tell him that I am not that. I was like, I just want you to know that that's not what I do. Like I educate, I guess, on GLP-1s, but he was like, it's okay. My wife's a doctor. And I was like, oh my gosh. it was like Chris has a way, like Chris has that sense of humor, like a way of turning something like that into something like really funny. And sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, Chris, stop. Okay. Anyway, I thought that was funny. He said that I was a drug dealer in front of a comedian at a comedy show in front of hundreds of people. So think some of y'all will get a kick out of that. Okay. I didn't have any goals last week, right? Like obviously they were just like, don't go super crazy. Don't gain a ton of weight. Don't forget all of your habits. And I feel like for the most part, I did that. I mostly chose a healthy option at every single meal. I had a yogurt parfait for breakfast. Every lunch I had a salad, and every dinner I made sure there was vegetable on my plate, whether it be, they actually offered steamed broccoli most nights, which is my absolute favorite. It's one of my top 5 favorite foods. I know it's controversial, but broccoli is one of my top 5 favorite foods. So I had broccoli at every meal, or green bean. They do these steamed green beans on top of a brisket. So I tried to choose something healthy every single meal. I also had a dessert most meals, okay? One dessert, one little piece of cake, or one whatever. So I feel like I achieved the goal that I set out for last week. I enjoyed my vacation. I drank a lot of water, and I made sure I chose some type of healthy option at every single meal. For this week, my goals are to get back into walking, because obviously, well, we did a lot of walking last week, just like at all the ports and all the shops. Like I hit 10,000 steps most days, but like focused walking for exercise, I need to do 4 or 5 times this week. I want to make sure that I get tons and tons and tons of water, because I need to flush out everything that was going on from last week, and just get back to my normal eating. Sometimes coming off of vacation, that can be hard to fall back into what you were doing prior, right? Like every other time I'd come home from a vacation prior to GLP-1s, it would be really difficult for me to like get the eating back to normal. And that's one thing that another thing that I love about GLP-1s is that that's not the case for me now. It's pretty easy to just sort of fall right back into it. And I have over the past couple of days. So those are all the goals that I have for this week. One more thing I want to touch on. Well, yes, one more thing I want to touch on. I think that I might want to lose more weight. And I want your thoughts on this. So if you made it this far in this video, I want to know what your thoughts are. There have been some of you for months that have been telling me that my body is trying to, not like rudely saying you need to lose more weight. Like we all know I weigh 150 pounds. I'm 5'6", 5'7". I don't necessarily need to lose a ton of more weight. And I know that, and I acknowledge that. My doctor himself said, we're doing great. If you don't lose another pound, you're awesome. Okay. I know that I'm not having like some severe body dysmorphia thing, although that's going to be a video as well soon. But I think that my body has been telling me for a long time that I could let go of like 10 more pounds. And so I might just kind of let it. Like I'm not necessarily going to be trying to lose a lot more weight, but I think I'm going to stop fighting my body to stop losing weight, if that makes sense. I want to know your thoughts down below on that. What you kind of think. You guys have been watching me for a long time. You've seen this struggle that I've been having with stopping weight loss and maintaining weight. Like I've tried several times to stop and enter maintenance, even as far back as 180 pounds, because I was happy there, to be honest. And here we are at 150 pounds. So you guys have seen that sort of up and down struggle of me trying to maintain. And so I want to know what your thoughts are on this as well. I have a couple more videos planned for you this week, and I am going to do a what I eat in a day this week as well. I have not done one in a really long time, and I feel like that would be a good thing for me as well to do as I like venture back into healthy eating after vacation. So I'm going to be doing that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this very chatty vacation recap update vlog type thing. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a brand new video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.